Hi, I'm Joseph Sciberras here at CET Color, and we are going to go over our 3.2 meter hybrid. This is a K2-1000HL. What that means is it is a 3.2 meter or 126 inch hybrid printer that has Kyocera printheads in it. All of our printers are very similar in their makeup and how the functionality of the carriage itself looks. So we're going to go through some of the features that makes this machine special. Right here we have all of our carriage where all of our printheads are. So this machine currently has 8 Kyocera printheads in it. So it's got 2 rows of heads. All of our machines are field upgradable, so you can start off at 1 row of heads and then be able to add the second row depending upon your production needs and obviously budgetary concerns as well. We have purge buttons on either side of the carriage itself. Again, this is for daily maintenance or any type of prep before we actually begin printing. We'll hold those purge buttons down, be able to, for about 3 to 5 seconds, be able to let the ink build up on the bottom side of the print head. We'll take a lint-free cloth and we'll wipe the head accordingly. So that's what we do for our daily maintenance. We have one for CMYK and then we have one for white. On the carriage itself, we have anti-static suppression kits built on either side of the carriage. This is to be able to help obviously dissipate any type of static buildup that is on your material. Obviously high static yield material like coroplast or even acrylics, things like that, we still recommend that you wipe those down with isopropyl alcohol. And we also recommend that you have the correct humidity and temperature environment for the printer to be able to help mitigate any type of static that could potentially build up. From there, we offer crash guard sensors on either side of the carriage as well. These crash guard sensors are there to be able to help protect your print head. If your carriage is going back and forth over your material and it runs into anything, it will stop, it will raise itself up, and it'll go over to its home position. From there, it'll ask you, would you like to continue or would you like to cancel? You can determine that obviously based off of if your material has moved on you or if you've had any type of head crash specifically where there could potentially be any type of damage and you need to address it accordingly. If you notice that it's going back and forth over the material and it has the potential to be able to hit that crash guard sensor, you can actually increase or decrease depending upon what you need, but typically increase the carriage height on the fly. So you don't lose any of the material, you don't lose any type of downtime, and you can get that job out in one go. Obviously this is a hybrid printer, so it's moving the material forward, so it's got a belt system on it. So this belt system is actually what is pulling the material forward. It's got vacuum systems that hold the material down, and then it will pull it forward and allow the printer obviously to read it, register it, and then print to it. This belt system has a sensor in it because sometimes your belt just over time will move back and forth, left and right. So it has a sensor that if it ever does track out of the distance that it needs to, it will cross that sensor, it'll notify the printer, and it'll start walking the belt back so that it is always lined up like it needs to be. We also obviously offer tables on the front of the back of this machine to be able to utilize if you're printing a full board or if you're printing multiple boards. These tables are easily pushed up and then removed depending upon what it is that you're printing to. If you're utilizing it just as a roll-to-roll printer, we have a take-up unit down here at the bottom. This take-up unit can be used to be able to help pull your material forward, or obviously if you're doing a full roll-to-roll job and you have a lot of it that you need to do, you can hit print, your operator can walk away, and the printer can be doing its thing and it go onto the take-up. The air compressor here on the side is utilized specifically for the take-up itself. It has a little pockets inside the core that can increase or decrease depending upon obviously the size of the core. So every material is not made the same, unfortunately. So if we have a 2-inch core or we have a 3-inch core, or maybe you have a big banner roll and the core got damaged and you need to make sure that it's kept taut. Well, you can use that air compressor, you can plug it into the take-up unit, and it will pop out those cores accordingly to what you're looking for to make sure that that doesn't spin around on you and can pull the material forward like you're looking for. We have different zones on this, just like our flatbeds as well. So depending upon the size of the printer, we offer obviously different zones and different amount of suction as well. So the zones are going to be set up into sections of the belt itself versus on a flatbed, they'll be in zones on the bed. So we can turn different zones off to be able to help pull suction over to the area that we need to be able to be printing to. And then if we notice that the material may be being pulled down too hard, or maybe it's not being pulled down hard enough, we have actually the ability to increase or decrease that suction. All of that is able to be located on the back of the machine along with the vacuum button itself. We do have media registration guides on this machine also, depending upon if we are utilizing it for a roll-to-roll aspect or if we are utilizing it for flatbed printing. If we're using it for flatbed printing, we have a drop-down gate. The drop-down gate allows us to align our material, our 4x8 sheets, 5x10 sheets, or whatever type of material that we're looking for. We can align it up to it so that we have a perfect starting point every single time. If you're utilizing it and you're printing on multiple pieces at one time, we also have the ability to space them out to make sure that we can print multiple pieces at one time and have accurate registration. If you're utilizing this as a roll-to-roll printer, we have a pneumatic system for a roller to be able to come down for us to roll material through to be able to help keep it taut. For a big 10-foot banner, 8-foot banner, whatever it may be, that's a really big thing to be able to make sure that that material is flowing accordingly, doesn't have wrinkles in it, and is able to keep it taut throughout the entire printing process. Both of those are accessed on the back to be able to hit a button to be able to either drop the gate down for flat material or to be able to drop the pneumatic roller down for roll material. This is a pneumatic roll system that is on the front of this machine to be able to help make sure material is staying flat as it's coming off of the printer itself. It is an option, don't always necessarily have to have it, but if you're printing on a lot of boards that don't have the ability to stay completely flat because of shipping, because of humidity, whatever it may be, this roll feature on the front is a very nice feature to be able to make sure that as it's finishing and it's going off of the printer, it doesn't pop up at any point. So all of these features are great to be able to help make sure that whenever you are printing product, you're able to do it as efficiently as possible. So this machine offers some options on it that all of our hybrids typically do. Depending upon the size of the hybrid though, there are some features on it that you can add and some features that may not come with it. So this specific machine, this is a linear machine. So this is guiding back and forth on a magnetic rail system, which is an increase from the belt-driven system that we used to have in previous models. That difference is about a 30% increase in production capabilities and also helps with consumable aspects, wear and tear, and overall calibrations. On the front of this machine is kind of where most of the buttons are that we do to operate this machine. Some of them are on the back of it as well for loading purposes, but on the front here we have power buttons. We've got a vacuum button, so you can turn this vacuum system on and off on the front here if you need to. And then we also have a tension button. So based off of your material, if you're printing on something that is very flimsy, very thin, or maybe something that is actually very thick, we have the ability to increase or decrease the tension on the take-up unit itself. So if you need to be able to pull it a little bit faster, keep it a little bit more taut, we have that option here on the tension device. It's located here on the front, and it is also located on the back, depending upon obviously where you're loading the machine itself. All of our printers are controlled by an onboard PC. These PCs are designed specifically for the machine itself, so they have their own PCIe card specifically designed for that unit and that type of printhead in that size. This control software basically controls everything about the machine. A lot of machines out there will have buttons, they'll have areas that you got to go to the front, you got to go to the back, you got to do all these different things. On this printer, it's very simple. We've streamlined everything to one control process on a PC that is built into the machine itself. So we control the maintenance aspect of the machine, we can control the height of the machine, so how it can detect the material, as all of our hybrids can print on 2 inches thick or less material. We can determine where we want to print on the hybrid specifically. We can also determine which job we want to print because it does keep a queue of all of the jobs. So it's a very central location for everything that we're able to access. And then also if a technician needs to remote in, they can remote into the control software and be able to see what's going on as well. All of our printers are liquid controlled LEDs. So instead of an air-cooled system, these are liquid-cooled systems. We have an external chiller that's actually at the bottom here. So all of our machines come with an external chiller. These actually circulate the distilled water around the LED lamps and then back to the chilling device itself. Very easy. All you do is you put distilled water in there, and every 6 months you need to drain it and then refill it. But that's all you have to worry about from the external chiller process of this device. All of our printers will use that type of chiller to be able to make sure that it controls the lamp intensity that when it's going back and forth and printing, because LED systems do have the ability to have a temperature to them, and we want to make sure that we regulate that appropriately. We have a 100,000 square foot demo facility and manufacturing facility in Atlanta, Georgia. We'd love for you to come by, see the printers in person, run your application, run your files on our hybrids, on our flatbeds, you name it. So thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.